Okay. Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh and very good afternoon to all. Thank you for spending your time listening to our today's online forum. So, our topic would be cash wakaf concept and the practices in Malaysia. So, today's we have two panels. Thank you for coming today. I would like to introduce, before that, I would like to introduce myself. My name is Nurul Amalia binti Ahmad Borhan as your moderator for today. For the first panel, we have Chairman Syariah Advisory Committee of Bank Muamalat Malaysia, which is Mr. Muhammad Faim bin Muhammad Fuad. Thank you for coming today. And for the second panel, we have Executive Director from International Sharia Research Academy, ISRA, for Islamic Finance, Ms. Balkis binti Azmi. So thank you for joining us. So cash wakaf has been established in Malaysia for quite some time. So I would like to ask Mr. Fahim, can you tell us what is concept of cash wakaf and what is the scholar's view about this? And is there any fatwa related to cash wakaf?
Okay, thank you to Ms. Amalia for inviting me to this forum. So the first question is about the meaning of cash wakaf. So cash wakaf is an amount of the money donated from one's possession for social welfare or any special purposes. Similarly, it is the cash invested in profitable economic sectors for certain percentages for social benefit. In the other words, cash wakaf means cash endowed to the authorized wakaf trustee where the principal is preserved for the benefit of the beneficiaries. Cash wakaf is also known to be one of the financial methods designed by the Muslim jurists for the development of wakaf properties around the world. So that is the first question, right? We go to the second question. The view from the Islamic scholar. Imam Abu Hanifah view that cash wakaf is prohibited under any circumstances, including property that could be used although without affecting the asset. The views of the most authentic Shafi'iyah scholars say that cash wakaf was not allowed, even from the benefits of the business, and those who do not approve or do not allow cash wakaf also said that money is to be spent, which shows that the money is gone after being used to buy, while the wakaf is extended to maintain its existences. And Al-Hanafiyah, some of the scholars from Al-Hanafiyah and Shafi'iyah and also Al-Hanabilah said that cash wakaf is allowed if it can be permanent, which means that the object must be permanently existed in order to call it is a wakaf. Therefore, if the money from the wakaf property can remain and it is utilized and replaced by its original value when it been used, it was being allowed. And there was also a lot of fatwa either in the international or local fatwa, and we must know that after the international fatwa issue about the cash wakaf, there is a lot of local fatwa also have been issued about this wakaf fatwa. We take a view from the international fatwa first. Majlis Akademi Fiqh Islami Antarabangsa have been issued that cash wakaf are allowed from the Islamic law because the main purpose of the wakaf is to maintain the wakaf property, and spreading the benefits of the wakaf from the cash. Therefore, replacement which equals the amount of cash is declared, and also must use the cash wakaf for the purpose of giving Qardun Hasan, or we call as loan, or being used in investment purpose. And the investment is possible either directly or in partnership together by issuing shares specifically to promote the efforts of wakaf and collective participation to him. And from the local fatwa, meeting from the Terengganu Fatwa Committee Association have decided that they agree to the implementation of the Terengganu Cash Wakaf Scheme And also Selangor Fatwa Committee Association in 2014 said that they must use cash transfer funds from the Selangor Muamalat Wakaf for the finance, operation and maintenance costs of Wakaf asset as needed. And there is also the latest fatwa issued by the State Fatwa Association, but I forgot which state, authorized the Wakaf trustee manager to buy the asset that can give the capital return by renting the fishing boat. This is also one of the latest innovation in cash wakaf models. That's all for me. Back to the moderator.
Okay, thank you, Mr. Fahim, for the clarification. So now we know how does the cash fatwa operate, the concept of cash fatwa, and the scholars' view about this, and also the any fatwa related cash wakaf and any fatwa related to cash wakaf. So move on to Ms. Balkis. I would like to ask, what is the advantage that we can gain or obtain from the implementing of cash wakaf in Malaysia?
Thank you, Ms. Amalia. Okay, the advantage of cash wakaf. Cash wakaf is contemporary concept, which can increase the number of wakif. This is because of cash wakaf give a chance or opportunity for those who doesn't have immovable property. In Arabic, we call it malu akor, or unable to wakaf malu akor like a land, building, and many more. So these unable people can wakaf cash to authorized people. Then the authorized people will distribute all the cash as fund for economy, social, education, and health. State Islamic Religious Council, in Malay we call it Majlis Agama Islam Negeri, and private sector are responsible or in charge to manage cash wakaf by people. For example, MAIS had introduced wakaf share scheme. In Malay we call it scheme wakaf saham, which is like wakaf tunai concept. In this concept, MAIS as a trustee, while the people have to buy wakaf share. Then these people will wakaf it back. Lastly, all the money will distribute to education, social, economy, health activities. Besides, there is, in Malay we call it scheme wakaf ilmu, that had introduced by institution of higher education Malaysia for encouraging people to wakaf money so that it can be donated for university facilities and student needs. Furthermore, wakaf money also can reduce poverty rates, especially for Islamic society. The donation by people can be as fund for helping small industries. In addition, the wakaf assets that had abandoned because of lack of financial support also can be managed with cash wakaf. Moreover, can you imagine if there is a lot of funds from cash wakaf, it can be used for small industry progression and help to settle people's debt because of the people disability to pay. Then, do you know that University Al-Azhar in Mesir was built by people donations? In Malaysia, there is Culinary Academy at Terengganu that had built from donation in total 2.5 million. Then, from excellent administrative management in Wakaf Tunai will open a lot of job opportunities for unemployed people. For example, there are many hotels in Malaysia like Grand Putri Hotel in Terengganu that built by people donations. From the expansion of hotel business will encourage economic growth such as open up a lot of job opportunities, eventually reduce unemployed people. Last but not least, cash wakaf can help government by collect the funds to give to the needy and poor people. That's all from me. Back to the moderator.
Okay, thank you, Ms. Balkis, for the explanation. So there are a lot of advantages that we can gain from practicing cash wakaf in Malaysia. So for the last subtopic for today, I would like to share some of the cash wakaf practice in Malaysia. So as we already know, the practice of cash wakaf has established in Malaysia for quite some time. It is because it is easy to manage, systematic, and it attracts public interest, such as especially among the youngsters and private sector to contribute. So the first practices is saham wakaf share scheme. So how does it work? So the wakaf share scheme, it refers to a situation where the wakif buy a wakaf share that has been set its value, such as RM 5 ringgit or RM 10 ringgit per unit. So when the wakif buy this kind of wakaf share, it will be gathered and distributed to the Islam and Muslim community in general, such as to build a mosque or religious school. So most of the state have this scheme, has this scheme. For the second method is cash scheme, wakaf wang tunai. So it refers to cash wakaf submit directly to its manager, to the wakaf manager. We can constantly see this in universities, just like what Ms. Balkis has shared before. So in fact, in most of public universities in Malaysia, such as UPM, and USM already has its own wakaf scheme. So this wakaf scheme helps students in terms of providing a scholarship or basic necessities such as laptop. It also helps university generating its own income. So for the third one is wakaf share corporate scheme. So basically, it's an involvement from it's an development from the first scheme, but it includes the involvement of the corporate sector. So how does it work? We can see from the Johor Corporation. Johor Corporation is providing a healthcare for the community. So Johor Corporation wakaf some of their share, and the profit that we can get from the share is distributed to the community. So through the JCOP subsidiary Wakaf An-Nur Corporation Wangkop, it will manage the profit that we can get and distribute it to the needy. Okay, so for the last one is salary cut scheme potongan gaji. So salary cut scheme, it works when an individual choose to cut some of their salary as a wakaf. So this scheme is introduced to meet the current demand, and it is easy for the people. They don't have to go to the counter or anything. They just have to cut their salary. So this practice is really helpful for the staff, whether it's from the government staff or the private sector staff. So the benefit that we can get from this kind of scheme is we can get a tax deduction from LHDN, Lembaga Hasil Dalam Negeri. It is stated in the legal provision. We can see at Act 53 Income Tax Act. So that's all for today. So now we know the concept of cash wakaf, the advantages if we implement the cash wakaf, and the current practice in Malaysia. So that's all from us. Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you.